What is up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 3 of Secrets of a Church Girl Social Media Part
Dos.
I was gonna say do.
Oh, look at us.
Korean. What's 2?
Dul.
Oh, same thing.
Hana dul set ne.
Go off, Samalama Ding Dong.
I can only count to 3.
What's up, everybody? We hope you are having a great day wherever you are, whatever time you're listening to this. We are jumping back with another episode.
Yee.
Hopefully no technical difficulties if you listened to last week's episode.
The struggle
Was so real.
I'm internally like trying not to freak out right now.
You could tell in the video in the beginning. I watched last
Really?
week's. I was like so bitter. I was just like, yeah, so
Honestly,
how's
I
everybody?
couldn't tell. I wasn't trying to watch it. I was just like, I need to get this edited. I can't do this anymore.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was like not having it. But
I could hear it in your voice. But
I
like,
know. I was a little bitter. But it's fine. We're back with another week and we'll see what happens this time.
Please God, again.
We're learning.
Every time.
We've never done this.
I know.
We've never had a podcast.
Like we have the equipment. We just clearly don't know how to.
Operate it
Yeah.
properly. Yeah, it's interesting. But we're back and we are jumping in right from the top with peaks and pits of the week. Give me your pit and then we'll end on a happy note.
My pit.
I had one and I thought about it last night and I was like, oh, I'm going to use this. And then I forgot this morning.
My pit. I don't know. I feel like I don't have anything like
You
bad.
can probably literally see the laptop moving because my child is kicking so hard. I'm not
Really?
kidding. Yeah, dude. Okay, go ahead. The laptop was shaking.
I don't know. I don't feel like I have one.
Oh, that's good.
Maybe that like my throat hurts a little bit, but like I'm scared.
What? Rona bite?
No.
Just kidding.
But I don't know. I think it's because I slept with my hair wet the other night.
Oh,
I don't know if that could make your throat hurt, but
yeah. I always tell people because everybody always tells me, oh my God, it's so cold outside. We're going to get sick. And I'm like, you get sick from bacteria and viruses, not from weather.
That's
but
what my-
hypothermia.
yeah, that's what my dad always used to say. And then I was like, wait, people literally die if they're outside for too long in the cold.
Yeah.
So
I know. It's very confusing. Well, that's a good that you can't really think of one.
yeah.
Yeah, I think one of my pits is that sleeping has gotten uncomfortable.
Ooh.
I'm so bitter. Oh, I'm like 8 months now, so I'm just, oh.
It sucks you can't just like take sleeping
I
anything.
know, dude. I know. And Billy's like, oh, take Tylenol if your like head hurts or this. And I'm trying so hard to not take like anything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just rough it at night.
You can't have anything at all, huh?
You can have Tylenol and you can have, actually to sleep, my OB says you can have Unisom, which I think is crazy, but you can't have melatonin. Well, supposedly. Every OB and doctor is different for like what you can and can't have. But yeah, I don't know. I try not to have like any medications and stuff.
Well, good on you. I
attempt.
melatonin.
Normally when I'm not pregnant, I know people are like, oh, I don't take anything for headaches. I don't this. I don't that.
No.
No, yeah, I do. But not right now. I'm trying. It's so hard though. It's so freaking hard. So yeah, I think that my sleeping pattern is so jacked up. And I literally wake up and Billy has an alarm clock in our bedroom because he doesn't want to have his phone in the room at night. So I literally it's huge. You've seen it, right? It's like a big digital one and it's bright. And so every time I get up at night, I always look and I see that stupid clock and it's like, I go to sleep at like 10 or 11, sometimes like midnight. And then an hour later, and I'm getting up and using the restroom every hour. Thank God our restroom is in our room and we have it like set up like that, because if not, dude, cracking my door open
I'm
every
sorry
hour.
for you guys because I do that. And my door is really loud.
Yeah, well, both of them are. That's why we don't shut our door at night.
I feel like my door is much louder than yours because the handle pops in and out of the door.
Like, I know. If we buy the house, we're changing all the handles.
So like the handle comes out, but then it also gets stuck on the frame.
Because of the paint.
Yeah, so every time, even if I don't close it all the way, it's still gonna get stuck on the it still sticks to the frame.
So annoying.
But yeah, I get up every night, like 3 times, 4 times, and
I hear you at the beginning of the night, but then after that, I don't.
It's rare that I get up from sleep to go to the restroom, but that's like unless I chugged water before I went to sleep.
Yeah, and then if I don't drink water, I'm super dehydrated. So it's just all over the place. It's all the things that you.
Struggles.
It's all the things that you're like you expect. when you get to this point in pregnancy, which my third trimester isn't as bad as I thought it would be, I guess, because everybody's like, you can't walk, you can't this, you can't that, which I guess I still have a few more weeks, so we'll see.
I know, I was going to say
Fingers
maybe
crossed.
then.
Because everything I'm sleeping is uncomfortable, but like I'm not like uncomfortable all day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm not like constantly like everything hurts, my whole body hurts. Like it's just normally at night, and then when I have to do exuding things, like walk up the stairs, like
I know, I was going to say like walk across the room.
So that was my long pit. What was your peak?
My peak,
Is it that you started?
I was literally, yes.
I was like, I know it's Sam's peak.
My peak is not being able, but dancing again. I was so scared to try to dance in this house because I feel like I will break through the floor.
You're so dumb.
I'm not kidding, dude. You know this.
Yeah, but this place is built like nobody's business.
So this house we live in is really, 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 really
It's 200 years old. It was
old.
built in the 1800s.
And it's all wood floors. And it's really loud too. So I was like, oh, I don't want to
She's
be
girthy,
like,
dude. The house is.
I was like, I don't want to be dancing, and like, I don't know if you like they film on different days from when we film like the podcast for the
but
church.
we normally will tell you.
And so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna try to do it with socks. So I started with socks, and then I was struggling. And I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna
You're
slip.
like slip and sliding. Oh, you should get the silicone socks.
Yeah. So then I just put my shoes on and was like gently, and so like I guess I'm like figuring out a way to do it because.
Just do it. If it's too loud, I'm gonna text you.
Like, be quiet.
Yeah, I know. Yesterday you were on FaceTime and I was like, shut up, Sam. He was like, don't be mean. He's like, I was like, she knows I'm joking.
I was like trying to not scream too because I was laughing. But yeah, definitely dancing again. It's been like 2 months. I haven't danced since before we left.
Yeah.
Because it was just too crazy. Like I couldn't.
Oh, I know.
And when I like want to dance, I want to focus on what I'm doing. I don't want to be like thinking about other stuff.
Yeah, it's like an hour, huh?
Yeah.
Like you do. Yeah. That's really good. I think my peak was or is this is so
Oh my god, what?
it's dumb. It's so dumb. But food has gotten so good. Like I'm so hungry all the time. And I've been sick. Like if you guys listening don't know this, but I've had like horrible nausea my entire pregnancy. I am 8 months, okay? And I have been sick up until this point. And even right now, it kind of comes and goes, but it's not nearly as bad as it was even 2 weeks ago. Like I would literally eat and then throw up like 20 minutes later. 20 minutes later. I would get through the whole day sometimes and have thrown up after every meal. So it was just so much.
I could literally never do that.
Dude, and now you don't have a no. It's not
That's
like
why I'm saying I would never like I can't like
it's not like
that.
oh I feel like I have to throw up. Let me go make myself throw up. No, it's like I'm mid going to take another bite of my bowl that I'm halfway through and I have no choice, but it's so gross. Projectile vomiting, like as I'm going, it's you don't even feel it; it just hits you. So, I guess I exchanged my appetite for my sleep, which I'm okay with, because dude, I'm like hungry all day, and I'm like, oh, this tastes so good.
So is it you're hungry all day, or everything just tastes really good? Like wait, I'm confused.
It's both. Before, because I was nauseous, I didn't want to eat.
Okay.
And now that I'm not nauseous,
But I feel like I'm hungry all the time, but I'm not pregnant.
No, well, that's normal too. To eat all the time, to be able to eat regularly. I feel like I wasn't able to, so now I am, and I'm really happy about it.
I've been trying to find things to eat now because I don't have my retainers anymore.
Oh yeah, are you done?
Yeah, I'm done, and I've just been like, oh, I want to eat something, and I can. So, but I'm like, I don't have anything to eat because I didn't go to the store.
Does it feel weird that you're not like brushing your teeth every 7
seconds?
seconds?
It feels wrong. Like I feel like I should be brushing my teeth after every meal, which technically
you
should be. But I feel like I'm wanting to eat more now because I know I can, without having to brush my teeth.
Yeah, I feel like that would definitely be a thing.
It's weird.
That's so crazy. I'm so happy for you though.
Me too.
Yeah, we're gonna jump in. This is, like we mentioned in the beginning episode, part 2 of social media. We were wrapping up last week and we were like, we just feel like there's so much more, because this was like, I think the first part that we were talking about was like, I don't know, just like the overall consensus of each of us, but I don't think we got into any of the church stuff.
Yeah,
like experiences we've had with social media with church, and then like we got a few stories during the week, and yeah, so we just figured jump on this again and kind of see how it goes. But I do have a question. Did you watch The Social Dilemma
No.
on Netflix?
I kind of don't want to watch it.
Dude, it'll jack you up.
I know. That's why I'm like,
It's crazy. It is. I watched it with Billy.
You told me to watch it, and other people told me to watch it too.
I watched most of it, and there are people that are literally like whistleblowers from these companies, like Google and Facebook and like all these things. And yeah, I don't know if we got it in the second time that we did the take for last week's episode, but Billy is reading a book called Social Minimalism or something like that. The Age of Social Minimalism. And it's very similar to what I was telling you, which was that people didn't sign up for this intense like life of social media.
Ruling your life.
Yeah, when it started, everybody signed up to like just be connected to friends and family. You know, and now we're at the age and time where literally all of your information that's ever, even down to what you like and dislike, is collected, and nobody signed up for that. So and The Social Dilemma, the documentary on Netflix, is really similar to that. So you need to watch it later, and if you're listening and you haven't watched it, you should watch it too, because it's really, really good. It's a little scary though.
I know, that's why I don't want to watch it.
Okay, yeah, you were telling me last week, or when you mentioned it at the end of the episode, because someone dropped in and said, I take social media breaks like once a month, even if they're short, or if you miss a few months, like she'll do a longer one, she said. And it helps her like stay focused and kind of like forces her to do things like, I messaged her, I started having a conversation with her, and she said it forces her to start doing things like reading or art or dancing or learning a language or like different things like that. But yeah, last week you were like, I wish I could, I'm not by.
Okay, I can do like, okay, this is like nothing, but I've done, and I do like one day where I don't get on social media at all.
I think that's good.
And I'm like, okay, I'm going to study like languages today. I'm going to dance today. I'm going to work out today. I'm going to read. I haven't read in so long, but it's like one day, but I can't do like a week. I can't.
Why do you think that is?
Because I feel like I don't know what's going on, and I use social media for news as well. Like, we don't have cable. I don't watch TV. And if I do, it's like Netflix or shows or movies.
Do you think you could commit to like going on Google and looking at news?
I can't control it.
See, because I think that's so huge, dude. I think that's huge. But also, you use social media differently. Like you're not really, you've cut out the social medias that aren't good for you, and then that's been the end of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I've like this close to getting TikTok again, and I'm like, no, I need to stop.
I think if you want to, you should, but if your timeline starts becoming bad again, then you just delete it. But you'd have to create an entire new account, because then it'll remember your previous
I know.
For You page.
Right? I've contemplated it a lot this last week. Just because I also just from last week to this week started using Instagram, and I've followed so many dance accounts because I've been looking like,
well, you were saying this week you did something outside of K-pop.
Yeah. So if you don't know, I usually learn K-pop dances and like just replicate the dance that they do. But this week I was like, I'm going to try something different. So I tried an Ariana song, and it's not choreography that she does. It's just someone else choreographed it. And so from that, I went down a rabbit hole, and I was like, oh my gosh, all these other artists, all these other dancers. And like kind of inspired me, because I was like, I love doing K-pop dances, but I want to learn other styles too. So that's the only reason I was like, I want to get TikTok again, is because I know there's dancers on it. But then I was like, I don't want to do the TikTok dances. Like, it's just...
I know. I hear you. Yeah, I think if you do, you just have to make sure your timeline is...
I know. And not spend 5 hours on it. Jesus.
Yeah, I social media is hard for me to take breaks on too, because at one point I was running like a bunch of social media accounts. So then it was like I had to get on and do all this other social media work, but I wasn't... It was just weird.
Yeah.
Like I was running our church's campus page and women's page and kids page, and
I didn't know the kids.
I was uploading. Well, when it first started, I kind of helped just like get off the ground, and I made like a schedule and routine, and then that was the middle of fast, like when we were doing a fast, and I was like, oh, I'll do social media because I definitely need breaks from social media. Yeah, like no joke. And then I was still on it every day, but I was working on stuff, but it still was like I was opening the app and I was scrolling on there anyway, just under a different ID. Okay. So it was just weird.
Oh my God. That doesn't count.
No, I know. So it just felt weird. So, but yeah, I'll do like, I think one day a week, or even if like one morning a week is like really healthy. Yeah. Like even if it's like today, I'm not going to get on social media till after lunch.
I used to be really good about not getting on social media right when I woke up, and now I'm back into like, I get right on it when I wake up, which is bad, but I'm aware that it's bad. I just trying to get out of it again.
Yeah, same. I think I think when we moved, a lot of my like normal routines just right out the window.
Now we're just trying to we're all trying to like figure it out.
I know. Readjusting is hard for sure.
Like some days I see them, and some days I don't. Like you guys.
Oh, I know. I didn't know. Billy yesterday was like, "Where's Sam at?" And I was like, "I don't know." Her location shows she's floating over the house somewhere, so she's here.
I know. We always look. I look at her location when I have no idea where she is, rather than just be like, "Hey, where are you?" Look at her location. But yeah, some days I don't see you guys, and some days I do.
The house is really big too.
I know. If I'm upstairs, I'm probably not going to come down all day unless I have to eat.
Yeah, and you do. You come down like clockwork. That's funny. Yes, but social media breaks, if you guys don't do them and you notice social media is kind of messes with your head and stuff, just starting your day differently sometimes. We know we're working on it, but we also know how good it is when you are doing it. And so it's a huge dip. Okay, so let's take it back to mid-quarantine in 2020. Mm-hmm. And I remember texting you my timeline, and I was like, dude, if I could make a timeline, this is what it would be. Like all this stuff. And you're like, do it. If you don't do it, I'm going to post it for you.
I popped off. I was like so annoyed.
But let's divulge that thought. I guess I didn't even really say it. I just told them what I told you.
Explain.
Yeah. So I think in church or in ministry or whatever it is, even in sometimes when you're like in business and you know people that are like following you, you kind of are really cautious of like what you put out there, not just like information like, oh, I live here or whatever, but like down to like what you're influencing other people like to do. And then so you kind of curb what you want to create. I don't know if anybody else has done this, but I've done this, where you want to curb what you want to you curb what you want to really put out there, because you feel like, oh well, this is what is supposed to be put out, and this is what not as a pastor. Because if you guys don't know this, I guess I should preface that I'm Billy and I we're pastors. We've been pastors for I don't know how many years. We were youth pastors for like 6 years, and then we turned into campus pastors, which just means you're a pastor over one of the locations of your church. And then now we're senior pastors or founding pastors, whatever the heck you call them. We don't really go by all those titles, but yeah, now we're founding pastors of the church we're planting called Gospel. So, yeah, Sam and I have talked about this like multiple times before, but it can get really weird. Like, oh, and I know like, even when I've seen other people posting stuff, I'm like, oh, scandal, or like, oh, edgy, you know what I mean? Because you're like, what's expected or what's not expected to be put out there. Like, oh, you're supposed to be A, B, and C. Yeah. And then you're not. And yeah, I think this is a relatable topic. I feel like other people feel like, have you ever felt like that? Like you wanted to put something on, you're like, maybe not recently, but.
Yes, but I don't think it's for like the reason of you should or shouldn't be posting certain things. My reason was more that certain people followed me, and I was like, I don't know if I want them specifically seeing this, or like
example,
like nothing against anybody who posts like swimsuit pictures or bikini pictures. I could literally never do that, because there's people that follow me that I just don't want having that photo of me, or that, you know?
Yes.
It's just that kind of thing. But all the power to you if you are comfortable posting that. Like, good on you. I wish I could. I'm just so uncomfortable. Like
the idea that someone could save that to their phone and just have it forever.
Because I would gladly like be like, send that to our group chat and be like,
look at me, I'm popping off.
Yeah. But I don't know, like the the way people can just have access to what you post whenever they want.
I agree.
Is what my head is like. It's not necessarily like, oh, you should be this way or you should be that way because you grew up in church or whatever. It's never really been like that for me.
Yeah. No, that's a whole nother freaking divulging topic to divulge, because I agree. There is some stuff that I'm like, yeah, again, like Sam said, whatever your forte is, girl, do your thing. Whatever you feel confident posting, post your post.
Yeah.
That's not, I don't even think that's the topic. I think it's more like, yeah, it is weird to me that like, and then it's like, oh, we'll just make your page private. I'm too late now.
I know.
Then you know how many people I had to go through to just get them up. And then it's almost like, okay, at that point, then what? Like, let's just post stuff that I wouldn't mind anybody having.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, because I think too, because over the years I've heard the whispers of like, she's always posting, even down to like posting a selfie.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, if we're really gonna have this conversation, let's have it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, well, that's weird that she's always posting selfies, and this is like, I'm telling you, like leadership like talk that maybe you don't hear in your average church
that we have heard.
Yeah. And it wasn't like specifically from any one church. It's like you just even the conversations you hear with your friends, like, oh my God, or like someone will send you a post and be like, bruh, this is what she posted. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm not even gonna lie, I have done that before.
I have done that too, dude, where I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh my God. But which is so wrong. It's wrong, because if you feel good doing it, girl, I just pop off. Let me just drop a few little love for you. And I think I've gone to the point now where I'm like, whatever. And it's taken long though. But I also feel too, because we're kind of like floating right now. Like us. We're not attached to, you're not attached to your school you went to. We're not attached to the churches we came from. Like, so whatever we make normal is what will be the new culture. So like, okay, yesterday, I literally was sitting down watching, I don't even know what action movie Billy had on. Or we were watching The Sopranos, and I was just literally like so bored and scrolling through my Instagram, and I was like, I feel like I have so many pictures of all of these outfits I've worn. And I never post them, but also they don't match my aesthetic, which I'm very keen about. So I was like, I'm just gonna start Instagram and put all of my outfits, and then when I need to look for an outfit, I can just scroll.
I saw that.
And normally I would never have done that. It's all pictures of me. It's just me in front of a mirror.
I was like, yes, thank God, finally she did this, because I need some help, but I don't want to ask her every day.
So I was like, I'm just gonna make this, and I didn't even think about it. Like, I did not think twice. I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna start loading this in here. And next thing I do, I have like 30 posts, and then I was like, oh
yeah. And then I get on there and I see the freaking picture the video you put of me.
I feel like it was a good transition from California to New York.
Like, oh,
if you're not following it, it's Randy's Clothes, I think.
I think she doesn't even know.
Yeah, I think it's called at Randy's Clothes on Instagram, but it's just a bunch of pictures of outfits. But I feel like I would have never done that before. Like,
which I don't understand. Like, I just don't get it. I would have just been like, do it.
I feel like I've literally heard people say stuff, and I'm like, that made me so insecure about what I posted, which it shouldn't have, because I should be able to put whatever I want out without thinking about it. My brain is
like, okay, let me post exactly what you don't want me to post then.
No, because I just feel like, I think there was another side too that was like, I was trying to say that I was being mindful, but it wasn't. It was like an excuse. Do you know what I mean? Like saying like, oh, I want what people see on my page to like be inspiring, and like to be like Bible based, and to just be around these topics. That's all I want people to get from me, you know? And then in the beginning of, I think I've had the thoughts on and off. It was much worse before quarantine, because during quarantine I started like, I'm just gonna create the content that like I like. Yeah. But like we were talking about last week, like still be mindful, you know? Yeah. So then I started to kind of briefly talk about it. Like, no, I'm not gonna make some funny caption to avoid the fact that I'm posting a picture of myself. Like, so you laugh at that and not pay attention to the fact that it's like what I want it to be. Yeah. You know? But yeah, I feel like it was such a weird thing, like midriff and like dress code and like whatever you've posted, or like, oh, wear that outfit, but you don't have to put it on social media that you're wearing it. Yeah. Like, I literally have heard that before. Like, that was the logic. And yeah, I just think it's so interesting.
That's very interesting, because I feel like I was like that until I left the desert. We grew up in the desert, yeah. And nothing against the desert and anyone who lives there, but like a lot of people don't get out of the desert a lot, even if it's just to travel. And I feel like once I moved to Sydney, I stopped that, like even thinking like that. Like I was just like, well, this is me. And if I'm going to post my life, what I want to post on social media, like not really like, I mean, I don't post like wearing midriff or like whatever, showing my midriff or whatever, but I don't know. I feel like I stopped thinking like that when I moved away.
That if a picture does come up that you like of yourself and it happens to have your midriff in it, you're not thinking about that anyway.
Yeah.
I hate that word midriff. It's such an old word. Yeah, and I feel like everybody's taught like modest is hottest, and that's like the only. Which, dude, for some people, that's okay if that's what you feel like. That's your lane on how you dress, how you express yourself. But I do think that there's a sector of like women that are like explosively creative, fashionably, like just out of this world. Like, and I feel like that's a gift. It's like a gift, dude. And I feel like the second we try to line everybody up in the church attire and then someone walks in and doesn't match that, that's what creates that window of look at what they're posting and look at how we've been portraying ourselves. Even though deep down a lot of people want to dress like that.
Yeah.
You know?
That's so true.
Yeah, I feel like it curbs a lot of individuality. Yes. Which I'm not saying like show up whatever your stigma is, but like I don't think you want to come in and just like I don't know. To me, it also gives like so much power to social media that whatever you put out there is the end all of who you are. You know what I mean?
I had to get over that because I was like that too. I was like, okay, once you post this, that's it. Like I couldn't delete it later or like archive it later. But I was like, once you post this, that's it. Everyone's going to know this or everyone's going to think this. And I was like, I don't even know what point I got to. And I was like, I don't care anymore.
Whatever.
Yeah, but I totally get that.
Yeah, I feel like it was a huge thing for a long time. And just, even down to like some of my friends that are in their 30s and they were like, oh, I feel like I could never post that I was drinking a glass of wine because then that was it. Like I was going to get in trouble or someone was going to say something to me or like personally, I don't enjoy any kind of alcohol. I don't enjoy a wine or hard liquor or anything like that. Just because I just don't enjoy it. It doesn't taste good to me. I've never like had what is it?
I don't understand.
Acquired taste or whatever. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people were like have been traumatized by like what you put out there is going to decide your whole leadership career in church or like your ministry placement or like all that stuff like that. And I think that that's too easy of a write-off for someone.
Oh my gosh,
in ministry life to be like, you posted this, you're doing this, this is it, you're done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's really shallow.
Like I feel like it's too easy.
Yeah.
That's like the easy way to say like, oh, I'm not going to dig deep in your soul and find out like what else there is about you, you know? And don't get me wrong, there, like we've talked about on our first episode, like there are churches that have bylaws and standards and stuff. And so if you choose to be engaged in an organization like that, then don't be shocked when they come and do talk to you. But if it is an environment that it's like, okay, well, yeah, please don't, like if you're in leadership, don't like go running around.
Yeah, but if you're just attending
3 a.m.
If you're just attending and people are like, oh, whispering, why is she doing this? Or why is he doing that? Why are you posting this? Why are you posting that? Like, dude, do you not have something else to do like in your life? I don't know.
Well, I feel like, yeah, it is. People might have thoughts about it, but I think there's a point where we as individuals have to say like, if this is what I feel comfortable doing, then this is what I feel comfortable doing. Because I think that's the secret is, yeah, there's the secret of the church that like, there's a lot of stigmas that people have when they look at your social media immediately. But then the secret on the other side to get out of that is like, if you feel comfortable living the life you're living and you feel like you have a solid relationship with Jesus and your conviction is what you're living out, then it doesn't matter what church is saying or what people are whispering because you're confident in who you are as an individual that like, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like I've just arrived there with like what I'm going to do and what I'm going to post because I feel like also when we do launch and we do have a church, people are going to look at what I post to see what's okay. And I want people to feel like they have full freedom to be the individuals that they feel Jesus is calling them to be. So you are going to find like outfit pictures on my page, and I am going to be a senior pastor, and it's not going to be weird. Like, I feel like if I go to a lot of pastors' pages, there's only pictures of church stuff or verses or whatever, which is fine if that's how they want to do it. But I feel like it's also made the other group of leaders in church that are expressive and are creative and do have fashion focus and want that to be something that they share, not normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So. Or even if you're just posting like not even fashion stuff, but just creatively, like anything else creatively, like your digital art or photography that's not your face. Like, I don't know. I feel like people should be able to post that and not be like,
it has to be just this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. You know what we didn't talk about last week was social media and relationships. How social media.
I was about to say I can't relate, and then I was like, well, that's a lie.
It is a lie. Sam has a story.
I wasn't even thinking about this.
Oh, what were you thinking about?
I was just thinking about like how I don't know, I was just gonna say, I've never experienced like social media interrupting any of my relationships, and then I was like, false.
Well, I remember when in one of your relationships, when you posted and the other person that you're with didn't have social media or a lot of social media, everybody was scrambling. Where do we find out who this person is from 8,000 miles away?
Yeah, because I didn't really tell anybody because I was like, I don't know if this
Sam
is
saying I'm mad at you for not telling me you're with Billy, and then it just freaking comes up.
Listen, you guys,
I'm like, what?
Listen, you guys, that's different. You guys like broke up and got back together, and then broke up and got
back
together.
You were 8,000 miles away and didn't even clue me in a little. So get out of here.
I literally clued in like one person in real life who was there.
I was bitter.
My phone was like blowing up.
I was like, I know you did not just leave me out of this thing.
Yeah, that was chaotic. Probably shouldn't have done it like that. It's because I didn't want to post it on social media and he wanted me to. And I was like, you don't even have social media.
Okay, that is literally what this girl's story is about. How like,
wait, seriously?
Yeah, well, kind of. But along the lines of like, I wanted him to post about me and he doesn't post about me. And then he wants me to post about him, but he still doesn't post about me. And it's just like, that
come on. I struggled with that in my first relationship. That social media was huge in my first relationship, really? And I didn't realize that until a while after. It was like I would see him like liking other people's stuff. Well, this is when Instagram had likes and you can see who liked.
Oh my God, that's gone, huh?
Yes.
Oof, I bet you that saved a lot of people.
And it wasn't even like, he was liking other girls' stuff. It was just like I could see him online and he wouldn't message me back or call me back, and I was like, please, I can literally see you on social media right now
and you're not texting me back, bro.
Yeah. And then I would like post something petty on my story, like indirect.
Like what?
I don't even know, like some quote or something.
Like
something from Twitter.
You just literally look up tweets that are like petty for relationships.
My bookmarks saved.
You're like, let me go back to my liked tweets.
Yeah, so I didn't like, it was a big deal. And then I would just be like, I know you're on. I would text and be like, I know you're on social media. Like,
get back.
Yeah, like text me back. It was just like bad. And then I was finding that I was only posting for him to see it.
Oh.
Which I'm like, girl, you have friends. Like, what?
People,
like,
yeah.
And then I didn't realize till my second relationship. I don't really think I had anything like that in my second relationship because he didn't have social media. And the one he had, he didn't use it. And I was like, okay. But then when he wanted me to post that we were together, like officially, I was like, why? You don't have social media to see it.
You're not even on.
And then it was mostly that he wanted my friends to know. And I was like, I could just tell them. Like, yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, I remember when Billy and I were dating. Okay, when we first started dating, Instagram wasn't even that big of a. It kind of was, but it really wasn't.
Barely. Then.
Yeah, it was like 2012.
Yeah,
bro, that was just like, oh my gosh,
it was the original Instagram icon.
Yeah, it was almost 10 years ago.
Oh, jeez, that's not funny anymore.
I know. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be like 10-year high school reunion.
Did it just hit you?
Yeah, whatever. You're freaking 2 years away, so shut up. You're right behind me. You're trailing, girl. Oh my God, that's scary. Okay, anyway. Yeah, we started dating and it was like 2012. And I think, but he I think Billy's original posts are still on Instagram. Some of them he's like archived, but if you go back far enough, he has like thousands of Instagram
I know.
pictures. If you go back far enough, you'll see where I think he like posted a picture of me like months into us dating, but it wasn't like, oh my God, like it is now. Like when they post a picture of you and it's so sweet. Like it was just like, oh, cool. Like it wasn't anything fancy. And then by the time we were like gonna get engaged and like all that stuff like that, it was much different. Social media was much different. I think that was in 2014. So it had kind of caught up a little bit. And I remember, dude, because my love language is affirmation. Well, at the time was affirmation. Very different now. It's gifts. No, but yeah, my love language was affirmation, words of affirmation. And I remember I was getting so annoyed. We were at a conference and he was posting all of this other stuff.
Oh my gosh.
All of these other people. And I was like, dude, how come you never post it like we're a thing? And this was part of my like insecurity issues, that this was after we got back together.
Was I at this conference?
Yes.
I feel like I know which one it is.
Yes. I think I talked to you and one of our other friends, Jenna, if you're listening, shout out. From Ozzy. And I was like so annoyed. I was like, why he play me like this? Like, this is not cool, dude. I don't know why it was such a big deal, but I was just super annoyed by it.
Okay, but then in those times,
that was like the thing. That was like the solidifying factor. Like, put a ring on it if you post a picture of me.
Because I literally was the same way with my first relationship.
I was like, dude, just one. Like, just so that people, when they scroll like your timeline, they know you got a girlfriend.
We would get so like BB Johnny's over it.
So BB Johnny's, dude. I was so annoyed. And I remember telling him and being like, this is so dramatic. I hate myself. I remember being like, do you even love me?
This is so embarrassing for you.
I don't mean to laugh because there are probably people who feel like this right now.
This is so embarrassing for you, bro.
But I literally was so bitter, dude. I think there was just a ripple effect of other insecurities, and then I just...
You told him that.
Well, there was other things that included this also.
What the heck did he tell you?
No, but it was because we had broken up, and when we broke up, it was so sudden that I was like thinking, when we got back together, I felt like, oh my God, this is just going to happen again. So you not posting me on your social media saves the headache of having to go back and delete these pictures.
Oh my gosh. Why did I literally think that too?
Yeah.
That's how my brain was.
Yeah. Dude, I was like, oh, it just makes it easier for you so that if you do leave, there's like no trace of us being together and it's not like awkward and stuff. You're not going to go back. Archiving wasn't a thing then. So I was like, there was just so many that just stemmed from other insecurities. And he was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that was important to you. Like all this stuff. And I was like, it's not important to me. It's not the main thing, but I just get so frustrated.
It's not the main thing, but do you actually
love me? And he just apologized. He felt so bad. Which, okay, dude, dumb. I'm such a like idiot because literally like he had already bought an engagement ring, was gonna propose.
Like, am I stupid?
He was proposing literally a month from then.
Yeah, like, I remember when he told me.
And I was like...
One day before, and then he was like, you have to get her there. And I was like...
That's another story to tell.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I remember being so jacked up and being bitter, dude, that like I wasn't like on his Instagram, but it came from other stuff. So if you're listening, just ask yourself, where does it come from? Because it definitely comes from somewhere. It's not just a feeling you get where you're just like annoyed about something that people hop on and off of all day. Like... Obviously, your focus should be much more than what they're posting on social media. But if you do feel like that, it probably comes from somewhere else.
It's just like weird that was the thing back then. Because I know from our other friends too, it kind of was like that. Like our friend group.
Yeah.
And it was always about like, oh, did they post about their girlfriend or boyfriend? But oh, he's not posting about me.
Yeah. And now it's like he almost posts me all the time. And I'm like, that wasn't a good picture. Take it down. He posts pictures of me all the time, freaking 10 years later, and I'm like, oh, I don't like that picture.
Every time he posts, and it's like one that I feel like, oh, Randy probably wouldn't like this post. I wonder if she saw it before he posted.
Nope, I didn't. He'll be taking pictures of me looking dead. I remember we had COVID.
No.
And he took a picture of me, and I was like dead. Literally, I looked like my soul was dying. And he posted it, and I was like, okay.
Me and Mariah are like that to you. We're like, ooh, we don't know if Randy's gonna like this picture.
I know, I'm very picky. I'm very particular. But yeah, this girl, I'm gonna read this story from someone. She starts by saying, okay, girl, wanted to give you something that I dealt with and have worked through. So when, I'm just gonna space out because she puts names in here. When my boyfriend and I started dating, everything was great and amazing. Honeymoon phase and everything. We come to our first milestone as a couple, and I remember posting on my social media, and he didn't post anything. I was like, wait, what? Nowadays, if you don't post it, then it didn't happen. This is what society on social media has made us, or maybe just me, believe that we have, sorry, I'm like so lost. This text is so small. Maybe believe that we have to show all the happy and amazing moments online, or it means nothing. Wrong. I've grown so much with my boyfriend, and I believe because we shared most of our highs and lows in private, that we are able to work through things together without the influence of others or social media. We have set our foundation on God and not on what the world and social media says a relationship should be or look like. We are 7 years later and could not be more excited for our future. This might just be me, but this is the story that I figured would be helpful for someone else, thinking that if your relationship isn't on social media, then it isn't real. Okay. I just thought it was so cool because that's exactly how we felt. Mm-hmm. And there are people literally right now that still think this is the most important thing. That if your relationship, your boyfriend or your significant other, your girlfriend doesn't post about you, that you're not like important.
And we can say that we know how that feels because we were at that point once.
We know how it feels, but it also, even if they post about you, it won't make your relationship better. And if they don't post about you, it won't make it any worse. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of people think like, oh, if he just posts about me, then I would be like, it would make me feel more this and that, we wouldn't have these issues.
It does for like a second.
It doesn't fix it's not going to adjust any other issues that you're having.
It like 1 second gratification trust.
Yeah, you like it and then you post it on your story and then that's it.
And then it's gone.
It's gone. Someone else said, I also feel like social media and all the editing, filters, music, emojis make for an unrealistic life. Looks like all the glitz and glam might be real for some, but the majority of people it's not. People should try to normalize being themselves. Everyone is so different and unique. I don't understand why we all try to fit into the trends, learn the dances, and try the challenges.
Learn the dance, baby. It's good workouts.
She said, please let me work out. No, but I think it is true when the only reason you are learning it is to have a video to post so that other people see it. So
yes,
that you look like you're relevant.
What was getting me for TikTok. Mm-hmm. That's why I was like, oh, this is toxic. Like, what?
I could never post a video of myself dancing because
I literally thought that months ago, and then I tried it, and it was the most fun I had in so long when I learned to dance. And then I was like, and then I recorded it, and I was like, oh, this is so bad.
No, because you posted.
No. That was weeks after.
Oh,
it took
like
me
you had done
weeks
it for a really long time
to learn the first dance I ever learned. But then when I was learning it, it was because it was fun. It wasn't because I was like, oh, I'm going to post it. I was like,
I have to. Oh, yeah.
It was fun for me.
I'm not trying to keep up with anybody.
Yeah. And I don't know. If you're like doing it for fun, I think that's different than if you're doing it for like trend.
Yeah, I think there's a huge difference. That's what I think she's saying is like if you're only learning this stuff so that it, you look like everybody else does.
Yeah.
Then you're probably going to be jacked up after that. Because then you're wasting your time doing stuff you're not even glad that you're doing. You know what I mean?
That's devastating.
Yeah, I think it's a lot. I know you had a story about social media. Would you like to share?
I do, since we're talking about our confessions.
Yes. Thank you for your confessions.
Confessions and secrets. I don't even know where to start.
Oh my gosh, please divulge.
When was this? This was like 2/3 into quarantine, I want to say.
Oh my god,
I don't even know when this was.
This is so funny.
And I wish I still had the message, but I like to look at who watches my stories. I just think it's entertaining. Like,
yeah, we talked about
and
that.
it's only once in a, like, it's not every single day I'm looking.
Yeah.
Some days I could care less. Why am I like nursing
Who cares? This is all anonymous, so if you think this is about you, it might be, but it's probably not.
Yes. Anyways, I looked at to see who watched my story. And I'm not even gonna lie. During quarantine, a lot of people who I hadn't talked to in a long time were looking at my story, and I was like, "What do you want? Like, you don't follow me. We're not friends anymore, or we're not friends on social media."
See, if someone looks at my story that I don't know, I don't like
Usually,
wonder why they looked at it.
it's fine. But if it's continuous, it was continuous.
See, I've never looked at my Instagram stories long enough to know.
It was like I was looking for like once a day for a week. That's how I knew it was continuous. And then after that, I was like, "What? I don't care anymore." Mm-hmm. So this person watched my story, and I was in shock because it was
your ex's,
one of my ex's girlfriends, or whatever. Yeah, and I was like, "What the heck?" And I don't know who to tell. So obviously, I went to my online diary, Twitter. And I was
for a week straight, she noticed that her ex's current relationship, the girl in the relationship, was looking at all of her social media stuff.
And I was like, okay, what? Like, I was so confused.
Yeah.
And then, so I went to my online diary, Twitter. This is my personal Twitter. I didn't go to Stan Twitter and have Stan Twitter yet. And I said, what the heck? Why is my ex's girlfriend watching my Instagram story? I think I said, get a life. something like that. Those. And some of my friends commented, obviously, like,
"Ooty, what
the heck?" Yeah, or like, "Oh my gosh, I'm dealing with the same thing," whatever. Then
people got bored in quarantine,
right? That's what I was saying. That's what I was telling myself. Then I go back to Instagram because I get a message.
Oh my god,
I was gonna say a bad word, but we're not gonna curse here. A very, very long message, and it was the girl. And I was so confused and
taken
shocked.
Back.
Yeah, that I was like, and you know when someone, like, you don't follow someone and they don't follow you. So my messages, if you don't follow me, go to a request.
Yeah, same.
So it goes into the request, and you can accept it or block or delete. And I didn't do anything. I just read it.
But it doesn't tell them that you read it.
Yeah, it doesn't tell them you read it. And I open it literally, like, if you're in your phone.
It took like 3 full scrolls.
Yes. And she basically went off saying, "Why are you talking about me on your social media? I just happened to come across your page on my suggested friends. And so I looked. You don't need to be talking about me, talking trash about me on social media. I'm out here working during the pandemic and all this stuff, whatever, like stuff that didn't even have to do with anything." And I was just like, and then I was gonna screenshot it or screen record it, and then I went to go look on Twitter to see, and I like I was like, how does she know I tweeted? How does she know? Like, I only put it on Twitter. And then,
but you're not private.
I'm not private on Twitter.
But they're also like, you have to realize our group of friends was friends for like a really long time.
Yeah, during that time.
Everybody knows
and
everybody.
This was like 6 years ago, right? Yeah. This was like, we dated 6 years ago. They got together like, what, 5 years ago? Maybe. I don't even know. And this is current. Years. This is like a few months ago.
This just happened though.
Yes.
Like this happened in the middle of last year.
So her being on my page and then going and somehow finding him from my Twitter that I said that. And then coming for me.
She came for you, baby.
I was like, so I blocked her. I didn't like reply or anything. I didn't even I didn't even screen record, nothing. And I went and blocked her because that was my instant like
reaction.
Yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna block her. Then I was like, wait, I should have screenshotted it. So I go back, unblock her.
Is the message there?
Unblock her to go see the message. And I went in the time, I don't know how this works, but in the time I unblocked her to go find the message, I think she blocked me. Oh, shoot. So then the message was gone and I couldn't even find her page anymore.
Oh my God.
So I couldn't even show anybody. I just had to basically memorize what she said and say it.
Oh my gosh.
So
we are so different.
you would have popped off, huh? You would have snapped.
I don't think I would have popped off. I think I just would have been like, sis, let me just reassure you. 1, this was 6 years ago. 2, like, your argument has nothing to do with the situation. I think, honestly, if you're looking at my stuff, it makes me uncomfortable because what's the reason?
Exactly.
Like, it's just really weird to me. But what you're saying has nothing to do with the fact that you are being consumed with looking at my page as if I'm of any importance to you and your life and your relationship. I'm not. So please.
Exactly.
Like, enjoy your time. Thank you for working during the pandemic, but don't give me an excuse when this is just uncomfortable.
Right.
I would have went in, baby.
I was, and then when I went
very
back,
kindly though.
But when I went back to like get the message, I was gonna reply, but I was gonna reply like,
"You make no sense."
No, I was gonna reply, "This is so funny, LOL," and then block. But then when I went, the message I couldn't
see. Part of me would want to be like,
but that's
LOL. This is a joke. But then the other part of me is like, girl, I feel I'm gonna look at you more than just like some petty girl. You're an individual who has insecurity problems that's coming to look for my page because I'm your current boyfriend's ex. And guess what? I'm of no threat to you.
Exactly.
And you need to know that as an individual, you have value. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your value coming searching for me. Like, just don't. Yeah. You're more important than that. As much as it's probably weird, we would never be friends. You should still know you're important. You don't need to come waste your time looking at my stuff. Like, and that's why I think I just feel bad for people sometimes because I've had that. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. I have a crazy story too about this, but it needs to wait for another time.
What do you mean? This is social media.
It's not social media.
Oh, okay.
But it correlates with like having an ex's.
Yeah, this is the only time I've ever had anything like that happen on social media. Like, I don't engage in like drama or like gossip or anything or like, I don't know. Yeah, I just don't. This is the craziest
thing that's ever happened to me my whole life. Yeah, I think I've had moments where like I've posted something and people disagree with it, but I don't really.
Oh yeah, same, but it's nothing more than like us explaining our sides, and that's about it in a like civil manner.
Yes,
but then this situation,
totally different.
This situation though,
this falls on the petty meter.
After I told Randy, she told me that she might have known who it was that sent my Twitter to her. Yeah. So then it all made sense to me. Yes. So this is like deep petty that someone's sending my Twitter to this person because I know this person didn't go and find my Twitter.
Doesn't have a Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't even think she has a Twitter.
Yeah, which is just, I think it goes back to the whole thing where it's like, girl, you got too much time. Yeah. Our friends have too much time. And that's why I say, when I say like if an ex's ex or whatever would reach out, or an ex's current, I don't know, whatever that situation is, however it falls, I would just to me, I'm like, girl, you have too much value. Don't waste your time with me. I'm not important to your life. I'm not important to your relationship. My ex does not care about me anymore. And just like live, be in love, baby. Don't worry about this. Like,
don't worry about me.
Yeah. Like, I think that's what like makes me sad more than anything else. Yeah. And of course there's all these excuses like, oh, that's not it, or whatever people come up with. But there has to be something down there that makes you go like, oh, I went and looked, you know? Yeah. Because I've seen a lot of people on my suggested page, but that don't mean I go look at their Instagram stories for 7 days in a row. You know? Yeah, no.
We don't do that.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I've had people disagree with me on social media for sure. And then I feel like a lot of the other stuff is more people just asking questions like, tell me about your relationship.
Oh, that's so no. I just think I don't open up my Instagram like you do. I feel like you all like not always, but more than I do. Post the questions or post like
engaging stuff.
Yeah, and I'm like, here's BTS.
That is your Instagram now, which is what I told you I was afraid of.
You were afraid of my Nah, you were afraid of my Twitter. No, and then I was like, okay, here I will make this. So that you don't have to deal with this.
I don't even see Sam on her Instagram anymore. I just see Jimin. What's his name? I've tried so hard. Is that his name? Why are you laughing?
Because you tried so hard.
Dude, I'm like, okay. So now I don't even follow Sam. I just follow this guy. And he's like always at the top of my circle. That's all I see.
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to not like scream right now.
Okay, little tomato. She turned so red. Call you out. That's what I told you. I was like, Sam tweeted one day. I could remember the day so clearly. And it was like, OMG, why have I waited so long for BTS? And I was like, no, I've lost her. It's over.
She texted me.
I was like, please, I'm so scared for your soul. No, I'm just kidding.
No, she texted me mostly because she just didn't want to see all my tweets on Twitter about it. She was like, I've lost you, whatever. And I was so like,
scared.
Yeah. And I was like, it's okay. I have Stan Twitter. I was like, I won't post anything on Twitter.
That didn't come till a few months ago.
No.
Really?
Yeah, right when?
Well, then you were just double posting.
Look, I still post a little bit of BTS on my personal. Not nearly as much as I would if I didn't have Stan.
Thank you for ad account on Twitter.
I feel like you're barely on Twitter.
I am, and now you're not on my timeline. You used to retweet some of the funniest stuff. I'm like, dang, I lost her.
Look, I still go and retweet. That's all I do. That's all I do now.
I know.
Well, because I have no interaction on that account. If I tweet, no interaction. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to retweet.
I would always see stuff, and now I'm like, 6 days since your last thing, and I'm like,
oh my God, stop. Okay, stop next.
Anyway. Yeah, I think Instagram is different, a little bit different.
Oh, way
me.
different.
Yeah.
Even for me. I barely post on Instagram.
But I think I enjoy like talking to people
on Instagram. Oh my gosh.
Sometimes it's like a lot because then I'll put a question out there and then I get like a lot of stuff back and it's like almost overwhelming. Like with mom stuff, I have to be really careful what I like ask for.
Yeah, because then you get like unsolicited stuff.
Yeah,
like,
if you're a new mom, be careful how much you put out there. Or if you're just finding out you're pregnant. Not that it's bad. Some of it's really good. I've gotten some really good advice, but also other times, like people ask me, do you want to know A, B, and C? And I'm like, what do I do? Tell you no?
I said yes, but she won't do it. I said just say, actually, no thanks. I'm okay. I'm like, I'm so like that.
I feel so bad.
I would say that in real life. I do say that in real life.
I feel bad, dude. I feel like, I'm like, well, now you're making me uncomfortable. I have to tell you no. And then you think I don't want to hear what you have to say, but I do. I just don't want to be like one of my friends. She posted and tweeted something and she was like, I don't even know if she posted it or where it was at, but it was like, I'm tired of like, stop false prophesying over me. Like maybe you didn't get sleep. Maybe your labor was horrible. Maybe like, cause dude, every time I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. Someone's like, oh, just wait. Oh, just wait. Just wait. Just wait till the baby comes. And I'm like, yo, I know that. Can you give me anything else? Anything else, Miss Girl? And it's like, oh, just wait. And I know it's gonna come. I know I'm gonna be real tired. But like, can that not be the only thing you say to like an expecting mom?
I know.
You know what I mean?
That's so annoying.
I think that whole mom social media
is
scary.
It's so scary.
It's so scary. Like down to every single decision you make, someone has something to say. Like way more than regular social media at all. Like how you choose to sleep, how you choose to feed, what way you're like if you post a video of your child in their car seat and it's like slightly off to what they experienced or know is true or whatever it is,
they call me for you.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that chest plate doesn't go there. This has to be tighter. How come you didn't do this? Or you need to fix this? Or I would really do, which I totally understand. There's some good intention behind it, but then there's other times where it's like, okay, these people have like people in their lives.
Exactly.
Like let the people that speak into them be the ones that like speak into this situation. Like don't interject yourself into everything, every topic, man. It's like that is overwhelming.
Mom social media, I like have watched it.
Me too. Way before we were even trying to get pregnant.
I watched it when I had Facebook, and a lot of why I deleted Facebook or don't use it is because of like mom social media and politics in church.
Oh yeah.
I can't. So I was like, no.
Yeah, mom social media it's weird because it can be so helpful. Like when you're looking for stuff and there's forums, but then when it's just like I remember posting, someone asked me, how are you, do you have any like anything solidified, like any routines that you're going to try and stick to or whatever? And I was like, oh, let me answer this. Like I had no clue how intense this got. Right. So I want to do wake periods. there's like wake periods, and then there's like schedule where like your child goes to sleep at 7 p.m. every night, and you wake them up like at 11 o'clock, and then you wake them up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then you wake them up at 6 or 7 or whatever. And then they nap for the first time at 11 a.m. and then they nap for the second time at 1 p.m. and then 3 p.m. Like, and it's based on the clock instead of like, okay, the baby's gonna go to sleep when the baby's tired, and through the night they'll wake up as needed.
Yeah.
And then during the day, so if they wake up at 8 a.m., their wake period is 3 hours. They're only awake for 3 hours. So whether they wake up at 6 a.m. or 9 a.m., they go to sleep in 3 hours from then. The reason I want to do this is because then, like, if I'm leaving somewhere and she just woke up, then I know I have 3 hours from then. But it's not like she has to go down at 11, so I can never do anything at 11 o'clock. That's just for us and our schedule, because I know our schedule is going to be crazy when everything starts. Like when we start ministry, we start church, we start meetings, we start all this stuff. I'd like to not have to be locked at home in the napping
on a schedule.
Yeah, whatever.
Feeding schedule.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
So that's kind of what I was doing. And someone was like, that's so inconsistent for them. Just so you know, I tried it. And like, which I get it. Thanks for letting me know, whatever. But like my sisters do it similarly this way. And I've seen it successful. So, and this is what I've also seen the schedule stuff in real life. And it was like, my friend used to leave like anywhere she was, or she would have to say no to stuff, which you're gonna have to say no to stuff as a parent, but she would have to say no to stuff because that would fall in the 20-minute window before she'd have to put her baby to sleep, you know, just like all that
crazy
stuff. So yeah, I think that was like, it was just, I was like, oh my gosh.
And people were just flooding.
Yeah. And then like,
I remember some of the stuff you were saying even a few weeks ago, stuff people were sending you, and you were like,
oh my gosh. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, on my social media, people were sending me like some of the people were sending me their labor stories and stuff.
And photos.
Oh, I was getting pictures of people in labor. I was getting videos. Which there's a part of it where I know it's so genuine. Like they genuinely are like, this is gonna be the craziest thing in your life. Here, let me like, I wish somebody would have given me this advice. But I think there has to be a side where it's like you have to sometimes leave that to the people that they have in their life that are actively, and they have equity in relationship to be able to speak to like such drastic topics.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was scary stories, dude. Like,
I know you were telling me and I was like, well,
yeah,
kids are out of it for me forever.
And it just freaked me out, dude. Because I think if you're going to hear from a new mom, okay? If you're going to give us anything, because our doctors are preparing us, our families are preparing us, whatever. If you're going to tell a new mom something, encourage her. Okay? Just, even if you want to give some advice, you must give encouragement with that advice. Because if all you're telling people is scary stories through social media or horror stories of anything, your relationships, your friendships, working at this place, like starting a new business, whatever advice you're trying to give to somebody on social media, it must come with encouragement. If it doesn't, don't give it.
Right.
Because then it will just be draining. It'll be discouraging. It'll be like,
it's draining, but it can also just get lost in translation over a text, which is through social media. Like you can't
a DM.
You can't like hear the tone of voice, or you can't hear the context because you're not listening like in person.
Yeah.
That's what I find for me. I'm like, if I read something and it's like, I read it a certain way as maybe the person meant to send it. So it's just, especially with stuff like that, like being a mom or like whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So that's my advice. Encourage people. Okay. I've literally made it a point to constantly reply to like Instagram stories, to comment on stuff, like really encouraging stuff, like sweet, you know, even if it's like a go off sis,
Clap,
whatever.
clap reaction.
Because it's like, dude, no one's going to change the social media world.
Right.
We're only going to change the people we engage with. So if I don't start being encouraging, then no one's going to be on my page or whatever it is. So yeah, that's my 2 cents.
That's your experience.
That's my experience. But yeah, if you guys have ever experienced any other stuff, feel free to always drop it to us. Confessions, questions.
Yeah. It's not limited to what we're talking about each week.
Yeah, never.
You guys can literally send us anything, anytime.
Yeah.
Anything. It doesn't even have to be church related, honestly.
Yeah, if you have questions and need advice, we'll attempt.
we'll help. We'll try.
We'll make a honest attempt at it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but if you have experienced anything in church with your social medias, if you felt like it was being held against you or anything like that, you're not alone. But also, if you are posting content that you feel confident in, let that be it, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Let that be what you feel confident in, and then that's the end of the story. And if you feel otherwise, then maybe that's a conviction that you're supposed to listen to. And maybe that's something, and I think we've talked about this before, like where you have to really spend some time like in solitude and really spend some time talking to Jesus, that if you do feel like, man, I maybe shouldn't be posting this, then maybe you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And that's okay to listen to that as well and have a conviction as well that doesn't match what everybody else is either, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, we hope that you guys enjoyed this week's episode, our chit chat and stories on social. Sounds like I don't want to post it. But next week, do you remember what we're talking about?
I do, but I'm not going to word it properly. So
next week we're just going to talk about fashion.
Fashion and
fashion.
Yes.
Being shunned by the fashion. No. We want to talk about, fashion, maybe fast fashion, small businesses, but we also want to talk about, we've had some experiences in church with like literally down to like dress code, what you are and aren't allowed to wear, our beach trips in church, what you weren't allowed to take, what you were allowed to take. Like we have some funny stories, camp stories and all this stuff that's going to come next week. But yeah, we just wanted to divulge that conversation, and we can piggyback on talking about some of the stuff where we said people are gifted with this. Yes. We may not be, but some people are. Yep. Yeah, so we will be back again next week. Make sure to send any confessions, questions, advice, tips on that topic or any other topic to secretsofachurchgirl@gmail.com. Or you can always DM us on our personal social medias, which you will see in the description below.
Yes.
But until next time, we love you, babies. Bye.
Bye.